Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you live from beautiful Budapest here in the heart of Europe. I hope everybody has had a fantastic week and is looking forward to an even better weekend. Hi, Sham Butar, Priyanshu, Pachu. Good to see many students in class. Hi, Gunkai Ren. Rajamani Kam, nice to see members in the class as well, and a hello to you. Students, in this class, we are looking at IELTS Task 2 Writing, looking for those high band scores, Band 9. We are doing a Band 9 sample essay today. And again, these materials and strategies come from our websites, aehelp.com. For academic IELTS materials, strategies, and help, check us out there. And for the general version, check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of these websites, we have loads of materials for you. The academic looks like this. Click that big red button to join the premium package. Get 6 original exams, over 100 hours of HD video lessons, as well as a fully interactive course for your phone, tablet, PC. The general version looks like this at gieltshelp.com. Click that big red button to join the premium package on that website for general IELTS help. Also, download and link the apps. Academic IELTS Help, that links to your aehelp.com account, and General IELTS Help app links to your gieltshelp.com account. We do provide you with the world's most advanced online IELTS training. If you have questions about our materials or the exam, you can send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. We are partners with British Council as an official IELTS registration center, so students in Saudi Arabia can even register for your exams through our websites. And we have writing and speaking help available there also. There's lots and lots of help for you to get those higher band scores. Today we're finishing again the task 2 that we started yesterday. I will review the question and the introductory paragraph, and then tomorrow we'll have a Q&A session for members. So Gunkai Ren and other members who are already in the class, think about questions for tomorrow's class to ask me, and I will help you out. And for everybody, we will have a speaking part 3 class tomorrow as well. Hi, Jaskaran Singh. Good to see more members. Roshni, good to see you in the class. Okay, students, so we started this question yesterday. I discussed how to analyze the question, plan your answer, and then we worked on the introductory paragraph together, the hook, the background, and the direct thesis, right? So IELTS Task 2 Writing, let's review this question. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. There are several forms of renewable energy sources such as wind, solar, and hydropower. As the world becomes increasingly concerned about the use of fossil fuels and nuclear power, it is clear that alternative solutions are necessary. Which type of renewable energy source is the best choice and why? It's an open question. Give explanations and examples to support your opinion. Now, this is an academic task too. I think Bushra is asking, is this academic? This is academic, but really the task 2 question and the academic and general version of the exam, they're very similar. You could get a question like this in the general as well. Taylor Reese, if you send me your essay, I will give you a score estimate. So I will let you know what kind of a band score you can expect. Okay, so we paraphrased the question. We made sure we understand it. Then we realized that choosing solar power is a wise decision because there's a lot of information that we can write about solar power. And we figured out that 2 good points for using solar power in the future is it's clean energy and it's abundant energy. It means it's readily available, which means that there's a lot of solar energy. Of course, we have that giant ball of burning fire in the sky producing all of that incredible energy. So, just a quick review. I made a very important point in yesterday's class. I told you that indirect thesis statements are very common by students, and they do not get good band scores because they're considered a weak thesis statement. This is an indirect thesis statement. This essay will discuss the reasons solar energy is the best choice. That's a weak thesis. It gets low band scores. So, you should write a direct thesis statement. Direct thesis statements get high band scores. A direct thesis statement is like this. It is arguable that the most viable source of sustainable energy is solar, as it is both clean and abundant. It's a much, much better thesis statement. The thesis statement is the last sentence of your introductory paragraph, and it controls your essay. It shows the direction, the voice, and the structure of your essay. Okay? So, here is the introductory paragraph that we completed yesterday. Let's look at it now, and then we'll continue with the body paragraphs. Task 2 should be 4 paragraphs. This is the hook. The hook is important. I don't care what your teacher or your book tells you. The hook is very important for the IELTS. It's very important for college, university. Any high school student in the US, Canada, UK will tell you that they write a hook even for a grade 11, grade 12 essay. Okay? So no, it's not okay to just skip the hook for the IELTS exam. Here we go. The hook introduces the topic, catches the reader, and it's a clean, clear, accurate sentence. Keep it simple. In the technology age, humans consume more energy than ever before. It's 11 words, it's accurate, it's clear, it introduces the idea of using energy. Then comes the background. People have used several different sources to produce power, such as coal, oil, and wood. However, many of these fuels to create energy come with a great cost to the well-being of humans and the planet in the form of pollution. Therefore, alternative power sources must be emphasized. That's the background. It tells the reader what we're talking about and why we're talking about it. And then comes my direct thesis. It is arguable that the most viable source of sustainable energy is solar, as it is both clean and abundant. What is my first body paragraph going to be about? So now we're going to do this together. I'm not going to write the essay for you. We are going to work together, students, on this. And body paragraph 1 will be what? Clean energy. That's right, Latifa Hikmatillo Murasa. Very good. It will be about clean energy. Clean solar energy. That's right. And first comes the topic sentence, which is a definition of point 1. Okay, which in this case is clean solar energy. Now, students, remember I told you in the past that there are different ways of paraphrasing, such as using synonyms, antonym, negative. So synonyms would be like saying big, large, okay? And using antonym negatives would be like stay, don't go, all right? One type of paraphrasing is what's called descriptive paraphrasing. And I'll give you an example of that, okay? It's a fruit. It's red, round, and delicious. What is it? What's the fruit? Okay. What's the fruit that we're talking about here? Pachu says, it's an apple. All right. That's a good guess, Pachu. That's exactly what I was thinking about. It is a red apple. Okay. It's a red, shiny apple. Roshni says, but it could be a cherry. And Roshni, you're right. Okay. I never said it's smaller, bigger. Most people guess apple. That's good. All right. So this is called descriptive paraphrasing. So this is exactly what you want to do. It's not an explanation, but it's a descriptive paraphrase, okay? So you want to do the same, but in reverse for your topic sentence. So when we say clean energy, okay, so clean energy or clean solar energy is like saying apple. Okay? So now we want to define this. So we want to explain, or not explain, but describe what clean solar energy means. Okay? So give me that sentence. Okay? So Ferdab says, solar energy is absolutely clean energy as it does not pollute the environment. Okay, good. So yeah, thinking about the word pollution here is very good, Ferdabs. Okay. So Marasa says it safeguards the environment. Okay. What do you mean, Marasa? Definitely the word pollution here is good. Pedram says, obviously, solar energy is one of the cleanest sustainable energy sources in the world, given that its pollution is the least compared to the others. Pedram, nice. You can shorten that up and just focus on the second half, that it pollutes much less than other forms of producing energy. Okay? All right. So, my topic sentence, and then we'll compare it to yours, is all right. So this is what I would write to describe the apple, meaning what I say by clean energy. So all energy production comes with some byproducts, but arguably solar power creates the least amount of pollution when compared with other energy sources. Okay? So that is my definition of clean energy. It means producing energy at the lowest cost to the environment. Okay, there's a lot of different ways that you can say that, all right? We don't want to repeat the word clean, okay? So clean is already in my thesis. I just used that. It's clean and abundant. So ideally, I don't want to use the word clean again here because that sounds repetitive. And the IELTS examiners don't like to see the word repetitively in your essay, okay, or words repetitively. So all energy production comes with some byproducts. Byproducts means products that are an extension of that process, like smoke, smog, okay, creating factories. but arguably solar power creates the least amount of pollution when compared with other energy sources. All right. And we're not talking about cheap here, we're talking about clean. So now, in many of your IELTS courses and books, they say, okay, now give some supporting points. Supporting points, what is that? Supporting points. What is that? What are supporting points? Supporting points can be many different ideas. You need to have more clarity than that. You need to have more focus. So I don't like to use the word supporting points. I like to use the word a clear explanation. Okay. That's what you need to do. So you need to explain your topic sentence. Okay. So you need to explain, what do you mean? Okay, so here, think about it this way. Sometimes it's good to think about your essay like a conversation with your reader. Okay, so if I'm your reader and I read your topic sentence, so I read, all energy production comes with some byproducts, but arguably solar power creates the least amount of pollution when compared with other energy sources. Okay, so here we're thinking, of course, of hydro or wind, for example, renewable energy sources, okay? And so your reader here, if I read this, the reader's asking, what do you mean? So this is the question that your explanation should be answering. What do you mean it's cleaner? Okay. So Amira, I like your topic sentence. Amira's topic sentence is, one reason solar power is the best. It provides pure green energy with the least adverse effects on the environment. Good, Amira, that works as a topic sentence. Okay. All right, so what does it mean? So Swaint Dop says most types of fuels produce energy nowadays, contaminate the environment, but solar energy is environmentally friendly, which means it does not have a chance of contaminating the surroundings. Swaint, it's a little bit unclear. So my question is still there. When I read your explanation, Wayne, it just sounds like it's a repeat of the topic sentence. Maybe that is your topic sentence. In that case, it's good, but it's not good as an explanation. Okay. So Rajveer says, solar energy requires panels, which can be easily installed onto rooftops rather than building gigantic structures, which are imperative in case of wind and hydro energy. Rajveer, very nice. So Rajveer has a great explanation. So producing solar power leaves a much smaller footprint on the environment, since solar panels can be installed on rooftops and do not need massive structures such as wind turbines and dams that disrupt nature. Okay, very nice, Rajveer. So I used your idea, and of course I painted it a little bit with some more vocabulary because I'm showing you that band 9 level writing. But nonetheless, Rajveer, if you were to write that sentence for your explanation, you're right up there with the band 8, maybe even 8.5 level on the exam, because I can clearly get the idea that you're presenting, I would like to see some more specific vocabulary like wind turbines and dam or dams so that I can give you that band 9. Nonetheless, I do know that that's what you're referring to by saying gigantic structures. Okay, so that's clear for me, right? So producing solar power leaves a much smaller footprint on the environment since solar panels can be installed on rooftops and do not need massive structures such as wind turbines and dams that disrupt nature. There, that's a little bit clearer that way. All right. Let's see what else some other students have for the explanation. Omar Shafei says other types of energy generate greenhouse gases in order to produce the final desired product, whereas solar power creates the required energy without releasing any harmful substances. Okay, good. Now, Omar, do remember that we're not talking about comparing solar power to fossil fuels. We're comparing solar power to other renewable energy sources, okay? Pedram is asking, can I use the word in both short and long run? Yes, you can. Just make sure you're using it accurately in the context that you're expressing, okay? Aster Rihani says, compared with wind turbines and dams, comma, solar energy is the least polluting to the environment as it requires much less space. Okay, good. Aster, that's really nice. I like how you're very concise, so you're able to state this idea in a short way. It's fantastic. Nice, complex sentence, Aster. Finish the sentence, okay? Polluting to the environment as it requires much less space, okay? All right. Rani Iyad says, solar power is considered the purest, most feasible, and easiest to generate on a wide scale compared to all other types of power. Rani, that's more in the introduction, that kind of information, okay? Shang Hung Sai says, the reason for solar power being clean is that it uses only sun radiation collected by solar panels to create the electricity without building enormous structures such as dams and wind turbines. Very good, Shang Hung. Very nice. It's a nice explanation. So far, so good, students. So our body paragraph 1, all energy production comes with some byproducts, but arguably solar power creates the least amount of pollution when compared with other energy sources. Producing solar power leaves a much smaller footprint on the environment since solar panels can be installed on rooftops and solar power does not need massive structures such as wind turbines and dams that disrupt nature. Okay, now comes the example, right? So give me an example, and your example needs to be specific. It can be completely made up or imaginative, okay, but it needs to be specific, something I can see. Okay, and here my hint is example of solar versus wind or hydro power. Okay, so give me an example. Sabsan, you have to give me an example of how solar power is much cleaner than hydropower or wind power as a source of renewable energy going into the future. Okay, so come up with it. Any example will work, like maybe something about the Three Gorges Dam on the Yangtze River in China, the world's largest hydropower dam, and the damage it does to the environment compared to the solar panels used in Holland to generate power. for instance, okay? Just throwing it out there, but you can come up with your own. Murasa Baraki says, for example, just last month I read an article and found that in 2018, Afghanistan overcame air pollution by 60% through the use of solar power. And this is saving flora and fauna. Very nice, Murasa. Murasa, this is a third person essay, so no I, me, my, okay, in this example, just third person. Latifa says, as mentioned in Gulf News, big N Latifa on news, wind and hydropower produce waste 10 times more than solar energy. Okay, Latifa, that's good. So you're going with a specific statistic that you got from the Gulf News. Sure. Arshad says, solar power is easy for everyone to use and it saves a lot of money. Arshad, that's another point. Okay, you can't just go off onto another point in the same body paragraph because your reader will be confused. They'll be like, huh, what are you suddenly talking about? I don't get it. You might get it, but I don't get it. Okay, you need to go into detail, students. Nabeen Rejmi says, especially solar power produces clean energy. Okay, don't use contractions, Nabeen, and we're looking for a specific example. Okay, your second supporting point should be some specific example. All right. So, Pedram says, a good example of this is self-sustaining megafactories, which not only condense but also lower detrimental effects of the environment using solar panels. So Pedram, you got to get solar power into your example. Otherwise, your reader's going, okay, you want me to guess that it's because of solar? So it needs to be in there. Okay. Manuka says, for instance, solar power does not release sound like wind turbines, which create a lot of noise. Manuka, that's more of an explanation, okay, than an example. Taylor Reese says, for instance, Algeria invested more than 400, to catch you there, Taylor Reese, yeah. So Taylor Reese says, for instance, Algeria invested more than $400 billion into solar panels as opposed to $300 million in 2017, which reduced pollution by 13%. Okay, not too clear, Taylor, on that. You want to develop it more. Roshni says, a study released in Washington University showed that solar panels in Holland not only save 90% of power, which is reliable, but also create 10% pollution compared with China's Three Gorges Dam. Yeah, so something like that, okay? A recent news report stated that the solar panels in Holland are a safe way to generate electricity, whereby it does not devastate nature in comparison to the Three Gorges hydro power dam in China, which has negatively impacted the lives of pandas as well as freshwater dolphins, among other species. All right, so again, I'm pushing you for that real high band 9 response. I'm just kind of making this up as I go, but the idea here is for you to see a very specific example. And if you can't write it in one sentence, write it in two. So a recent news report stated that the solar panels in Holland are a safe way to generate electricity, whereby it does not devastate nature in comparison to the Three Gorges hydropower dam in China, which has negatively impacted the lives of pandas as well as freshwater dolphins, among other species. Okay? Obviously, that's a complex sentence with a lot of elements, and I'm showing you that band 9 level. But most importantly here, notice the style of that example. So it's a third-person example, okay? It's comparing hydro to solar power, and it's making it very clear what I mean by my topic sentence and my explanation. Notice how clear this is when I read the body paragraph all in one, okay? Looks long, but notice I have a lot of explanation here. And also I'm using size 16 font. So here we go. All energy production comes with some byproducts, but arguably solar power creates the least amount of pollution when compared with other energy sources. Producing solar power leaves a much smaller footprint on the environment since solar panels can be installed on rooftops and solar power does not need massive structures such as wind turbines and dams to disrupt nature. A recent news report stated that solar panels in Holland are a safe way to generate electricity, whereby it does not devastate nature in comparison to the Three Gorges hydropower dam in China, which has negatively impacted the lives of pandas as well as freshwater dolphins. It's very visual, okay? So if I want to make this a little bit less wordy, a little bit simpler, I can take out that last little bit. It's not absolutely necessary. And I can even take this out because it's in my explanation. So now I've simplified it, still reads really well, and it's a very specific example. I hope that's clear, okay? Be honest with me, viewers, students. When you read this body paragraph, so when you read this, okay, what I just went through, am I convincing you that solar power is a clean form of energy and it's a good choice for renewable energy? Are you convinced? That's my goal, right? Ultimately, my goal is to convince you of the idea that solar power is the best choice for renewable energy in the future. Am I successful with this information? Yes or no? If not, I need to change my writing. If yes, then I'm on the right track, okay? So am I convincing you? If your answers are yes, then great, we can continue, okay? That's how you should always check your work. Thank you for coming back to me on that, Subsun and Arshdeep Omar. That was definitely a question, okay? You can use solar power or solar energy, not just in the summer. There are some really sunny places in winter as well. Okay, so great. Now, am I finished? So, am I done here? Is this the end of my body paragraph 1? Can I go to body paragraph 2? Marasa says no. I agree with Marasa. Not quite done yet. What do I need now? So what do I need now? Yeah, I need some kind of a connecting sentence. So some kind of a connecting, concluding sentence makes sense here. It's really simple. So connecting and concluding sentence. Okay. So this is one of 2 key reasons that solar energy is the right choice for future power production. Okay. So just keeping it simple. You don't have to overthink it. So this is one of 2 key reasons that solar energy is the right choice for future power production. Okay? Why? Because I gave 2 points, right? In my thesis statement, I said that it's clean and it's abundant. So those are my 2 points. I just talked about clean. Now I'm going to talk about abundant, of course, right? There is no contradictory side here, chef on the way, because the question, the task 2 question is which renewable energy source is the best choice and why, okay? Students, be really careful to pay attention to the task 2 question. If you start to write about fossil fuels here, you're going off topic, okay? So this body paragraph 2 has to be about solar energy is abundant. Okay, and the same concept as for body paragraph 1. So we have the word apple. In this case, it's not apple, it's the word abundant. So now you need to tell me that it's red, round, it's a fruit, it's delicious. So describe the word abundant. Describe the concept that solar energy is abundant. Okay? So explain that to your reader. Not really explain, but define it. Define it for your reader. Write your topic sentence. It's very, very important, students, that you practice a lot at home your thesis statements and your topic sentences. If you can write good thesis statements for your introduction and good topic sentences for your body paragraphs, you're on your way to a high band score. Okay. So Marasa says solar power can produce 2 million megawatts of energy per hour. Okay. I think you're being a little bit too specific, Marasa. Let's see. Napin, we want to stay away from cheaper. We're not talking about cheap here. We're talking about saving the environment. Nobody cares about money when it comes down to saving the planet, right? Because all the money in the world will not buy another planet Earth. Rajveer says, another advantage of solar energy is that it is an unlimited source of power. Yeah, I mean, in the world of humans, Rajveer, sure, the sun will eventually die, but yes, in our sense of existence, it's unlimited. Okay. C. Wayne says there will never be a lack of sunlight. C. Wayne, don't jump to future tense will. There is never a lack of sunlight or energy coming from the sun. Yeah. Rodrigo says sunlight has been around since humankind's early existence, and therefore it is a cost-effective form of generating power. Rodrigo, students, I know we all care about money, but let's try to stay away from money. Just think about abundance. So it's available, okay? It's available. Let's see. Sue 41210 says there's a lot of sunlight in most parts of the world, which help convert sunlight into electricity through solar panels. Yeah, in fact, there's sunlight in all parts of the world at different times, even in the North Pole, where it's sunny half of the year, dark the other half. It's very sunny for half of the year. You could create a lot of power and store the energy in batteries. So there's sunlight everywhere, okay, on planet Earth. There's no place on Earth that doesn't get sunlight at some point, okay? And that can be your topic sentence. There's no place on Earth which does not get energy from the sun. Okay, Otabek says, to sum up, there are different kinds of producing power. Otabek, I think you're onto the summary or the conclusion. We're not there yet. Okay, Gunkai Ren says, solar energy cannot be used up as long as the sun exists. Yeah, so so my first sentence here uses the word arguably because I'm arguing. Now, I'm trying not to repeat the word arguably, so I'm going to use a synonym. It can be debated that solar energy is the most available form of power on planet Earth. as solar radiation exists on all of Earth's surface. Now, I don't want to repeat words, so I'm going to take out the word Earth up here. Okay? This is my topic sentence. It can be debated that solar energy is the most available form of power on the planet, as solar radiation exists on all of Earth's surface. Okay? It's a giant ball of burning fire in the sky. There's definitely solar radiation. Remember what I said yesterday? 95% of all energy on the surface of our planet comes from the sun in one way or another. Only about 5% comes from inside of our planet, okay? From volcanoes and such. Okay, so it can be debated that solar energy is the most available form of power on the planet, as solar radiation exists on all of Earth's surface. Just imagine what would happen to plants and life if we didn't have that incredible power coming from the sun. All right, so explain that to me. What do you mean? Give me a nice, clear explanation of this. Okay, while you're thinking about that, I'll read some more of the comments by students. So Nadia Khalil says, solar systems have undergone an additional depletion of volatile hydrogen, helium, neon, nitrogen, and carbon. Okay, we're getting really scientific, which is okay, Nadia, but just make sure that your explanation is clear to your reader. I'm not quite certain where you're going with that, okay? Krishna Fitness says, sunlight is important in the solar system, so the energy can be produced in any way in the availability of the sun. Okay, Krishna, I kind of get what you're saying, but you have a little bit of awkward and confusing phrasing there, so maybe rethink how to express your idea. Marasa says the sun, not frequently, Marasa, the sun consistently radiates energy to every part of the earth, and individuals can generate enormous amount of electricity from this power. Okay. Rajveer says, since the sun is the source of 95% of energy, humans can focus on storing sunlight in order to produce power rather than worrying about other forms. Very nice, Rajveer. Yeah, I'll take something like that. Since it is a known fact that 95% of the existing energy on Earth originates from the sun, people ought to focus their attention on converting and storing this sustainable resource rather than worrying about hydro, wind, or other forms of renewable power. Okay. Yeah, thanks for that, Rajveer. That's a nice explanation. Okay. Pachu says, as the sun rays fall on the surface of the earth, every organism can get energy and convert this energy in different ways. So too humans should use this energy to convert it into electricity. Pachu, that was really good. I loved how you started that idea. I just kind of added a little bit more to the end of it, so it makes a lot of sense. It's a nice explanation as well, okay? Gunkai Ren says, people living in any place on our planet can make use of sun energy. Yeah, that's right. So people living in any part of the world can make use of solar energy with the right technology. Yeah. Many of you may or may not know this, but solar cells are actually very advanced now. And even on rainy days or cloudy days, there are very advanced types of solar panels that can, in fact, generate power even on days where there's not a lot of sunlight. In fact, there's solar panels now which can be used as windows. Just imagine a skyscraper where you have all of the windows on the skyscraper generating electricity, and you can look out the window just the same. Okay, incredible. And these exist, but humans are slow to change. Slow to change. That's just my little 2 bits there. All right. Yeah, so now you're getting the idea. I can see a lot of good explanations. Yeah. Rodrigo says it is seamless and full of incidents in the 4 corners of the world. Solar energy can be grasped by all people and taken advantage of as a potential power supply. Rodrigo, good. Okay, there's a nice explanation there as well. I changed some of your words and a little bit of your grammar for it to make more sense. Okay. Good. Nice work, students. So now we want to give an example. Okay. So again, give me a nice, clear example. Okay. Maybe in your example, compare hydro with wind, with solar, but be specific. Okay. The goal of your example is always to be specific. Okay, be very, very specific. Let's see what you come up with. So you can refer to an imaginary news article, some kind of a scientific research paper. You can just make it up. Okay. Alex Joseph says, for example, the sun imparts a massive amount of sunlight on the earth every day, although the Earth absorbs about 3.8 million exajoules of solar energy every year. All right, very nice. Yeah, sure. So that is more of an explanation, Alex, than an example, but it's a nice explanation. Okay. Faruza, I don't think the sun will be ended after some years. I think it's about 5 billion years. And if the sun ceases to exist, humans will certainly cease to exist on Earth. Okay. Juna says, for instance, in the Terai region of Nepal, people use sunlight to produce electricity, which is cheaper than other ways of producing. Okay, Juna, let's just go with what you're starting there. For instance, from the Terai regions of Nepal, to the fields of Holland and the hills of South Africa, solar panels are being used to produce massive amounts of sustainable energy. In fact, harnessing the power of the sun the power of the sun is more widespread on Earth than any other, including wind and hydro power. Okay. So there I have my second body paragraph. Now I'm going to read it, make sure it makes sense, make sure it's up to snuff. It's a band 9. Let's check it out. So it can be debated that solar energy is the most available form of power on the planet, as solar radiation exists on all of Earth's surface. Since it is a known fact that 95% of the existing energy on Earth originates from the sun, people ought to focus their attention on converting and storing this sustainable resource rather than worrying about hydro, wind, or other forms of renewable power. People living in any part of the world can make use of solar energy with the right technology. For instance, the Terai regions of Nepal, for instance, from the Terai regions of Nepal to the fields of Holland and the hills of South Africa, solar panels are being used to produce massive amounts of sustainable energy. In fact, harnessing the power of the sun is more widespread on Earth than any other, including wind and hydro power. Okay? Pachu says, thanks, I live in the Terai region of Nepal. Sure. All right, so far so good. Now, we don't need a connecting, concluding sentence here because the next paragraph is the conclusion. And unfortunately, I've run out of time for the conclusion, but I'll leave that for you for homework. If you don't know how to write a good conclusion, check for some videos on the channel, especially some of the pre-recorded videos, so not the live class videos, but pre-recorded task 2 videos, and you will see some description of how to write a good conclusion. Nevertheless, so far, this is your band 9 task 2 essay. I will post the full essay on the YouTube channel community board. So on this YouTube channel, there's a comments section. There's a community comment section where you can find lots of task 1, task 2 samples from previous classes. I will post this one there also, as well as the task 1 essay that we did with members earlier this week. So great job, students. I think a lot of you got the right idea about how to write that topic sentence, explanation, example. And that's what you need to do on the IELTS exam to get those higher band scores. You need to reach that grade 12 college university level writing structure. Okay? All right, everyone. Make sure to check out and join our premium packages, gieltshelp.com. Click that big red button to join the premium package there. And for the academic, it's the blue background at aehelp.com. Click that big red button to join the premium package there. Get lots of fantastic materials, videos, apps, and help to get better band scores. That's it for me for today. Tomorrow, again, question and answer session for members. So members, have your questions ready. And for everybody afterwards, at this time, speaking part 3, practice and strategy. Much love to all of you. I hope your weekend will be off to a great start. Bye for now.